Imagine diving into the unknown, into the depths of murky waters, all for something as ordinary as a golf ball. But this isn't just a hobby, it's a profession, one of isolation and eerie quiet. Each day, the same routine, the dark waters, the tangled nets, and the abandoned golf courses that stretch out before you like forgotten worlds. The sounds of nature are broken only by the splash of water, and a cold wind whispers across the stillness. The perfect place for someone willing to face the darkness. But sometimes it's the darkness that faces you. Everything changed during the pandemic. Once these courses were filled with life, golfers and tourists, the hum of business. Now they're empty, abandoned. The world's chaos left behind rows of unkept fairways, the once lush greens turning wild. For me, it became a struggle, a game of survival. The money dried up as the world locked down. But the courses, they remained. And for someone like me, that meant finding a way to survive the silence. Night hawking, it's what we call it. Scavenging for lost golf balls under the cover of night, when the world is asleep, and the only sound you hear is the wind through the trees. You find yourself creeping through places that should have been left behind, forgotten. But that's the thrill of it, isn't it? The hunt. The darkness of these abandoned places calls to you, like a secret waiting to be discovered. But secrets, they don't always stay hidden. There's a place where the silence feels wrong, where the air is thick with the weight of forgotten history. An old golf course, now nothing more than a half-drowned ruin barricaded against the world, left to rot. The road is cracked and long, lined with remnants of what used to be. It's a place that warns you, yet somehow pulls you in. A place where you don't belong, and a place where you'll wish you never came. Standing before it, the clubhouse looks like a relic. Once a place of life and laughter, now it's just a skeleton of what it was. The windows are shattered. The doors hang open as if waiting for someone to walk back through. But no one does. Not anymore. There's a stillness here, something ancient and unwelcoming. The ghosts of the past seem to linger in every corner, whispering in the wind. As I step onto the fairway, it feels like the earth itself is trying to swallow me whole. The grass is taller now, the trees thicker. What was once manicured is now a jungle, a wild expanse that's almost alive, creeping in on itself. With every step I take, the sense of being watched grows stronger, like the course itself is waiting for something or someone. Here at Hole 5, things start to feel wrong. A sign, half sunk in the mud, its words barely legible. Butthole 5. Someone had spray painted over it, but it didn't make the place any less unsettling. This wasn't just a lost golf course. It was something more, forgotten by time, yet somehow still here, lurking. And the pond, it looks deeper than I remembered, darker, more sinister. With a slow, careful motion, I wade into the pond. The water is cold, dark, and uninviting, but there's something about it, something that draws me in. The deeper I go, the less I can see. The darkness is thick, almost suffocating. My headlamp barely penetrates the murk, but I know I'm not alone. The quiet, though, it's too quiet. No birds, no insects, just the water, lapping against the shore, and the creeping feeling that something else is watching. As I feel around beneath the water, my hand brushes against something hard and curved. It's metal, covered in slime and algae. I pull it closer. A golf cart submerged and abandoned. The rust is thick and the stench of decay fills the air. It's surreal, like I've stumbled into some forgotten nightmare. The cart is just one piece of a larger puzzle. But what kind of game are we playing here? Then I feel it. Something large. Something that doesn't belong. I freeze, my heart racing. There's movement beneath me, too quick, too deliberate. Suddenly a shadow shifts in the water and I realize it's not an alligator, not just a simple creature of the swamp. No, this is something far worse, something old, something waiting. Everything happens in an instant. The water erupts around me. I'm pulled, dragged under. My limbs flail, desperate for air, but the weight of the water pulls me deeper. Panic sets in as the shadow closes in, wrapping around me. I fight, I struggle, but it's no use. The darkness is consuming and I can feel it. Whatever it is, trying to pull me down into its depths. My hand touches something, but it's not an alligator. It's not even animal. It's a hand, a human hand, cold, slimy. The realization hits me like a punch to the gut. This wasn't an accident. It's not some wild animal. There's something else in the water. Something much worse. Something that's been waiting for me. And it's not finished yet. I stab again and again. The water around me churns with blood and panic. I feel the grip loosening, but I'm not free yet. The water around me is alive now, alive with fear. With a final push, I break free, gasping for air, pulling myself up, clawing at the edge of the pond. My chest tightens as I scramble to escape the abyss, but something tells me it's not over. Finally, I reach the shore. My hands dig into the muck, pulling me from the water. I collapse breathless, my body trembling, but the feeling doesn't fade. I glance back at the pond, its waters still and dark. The night is so quiet now, too quiet. The air feels wrong, like something is waiting, watching, just beyond the edge of the water. And then I see it, a shape rising from the water, huge, towering, not an alligator, not even close. This is something ancient, something that belongs to the swamp. It's not looking at me, yet it knows I'm here, and I know it knows. The creature turns, its massive form slinking back into the darkness, leaving me with a single chilling thought. This place isn't done with me. Not yet. That night something changed. I walked away, but I didn't really leave. The course, the water, the creature, it's all still there, lingering in the dark corners of my mind. I'll never forget the things I saw, the things that waited just below the surface, and I know someday it'll find me again.